Good morning, everyone. Today I have kind of a topic that I've been sort of rolling around in my brain for quite a while. And I don't know, it's something that probably could be borderline controversial. You know, when you have a topic where you could have opinions from one extreme to another, a lot of times it ends up causing conflict. So I'm hopeful that this does not do that, but that it just kind of makes us think a little bit about what we call the people we interact with on social media. I see a lot of posts all the time about, people being upset with other folks, like, I can't believe she did that, I thought we were friends. Or I'll see the posts, that you share that like are quotes and stuff, that tell you things like the meaning of a friend or a true friend, and be careful for the fake friends out there and stuff like that. So I see that a lot in the community, because let's face it, when you're online, you can be anyone you want to be, and you can treat people any way you want to. Not saying it's right or wrong, but you have that freedom because the person doesn't really know the true one behind the camera or the one behind the screen. So we can tend to be, people we're not, or treat people in a way that we might not treat someone if we were face to face with them. So that's kind of, I guess, where I'm at with this. The first thing I did was that I looked up the definitions of an acquaintance and a friend. So the definition of an acquaintance is a person one knows slightly, but who is not a close friend. And a friend is a person whom one knows and with whom one has a bond of mutual affection, typically exclusive to sexual or family relations. So the reason I bring this up is because I feel that a lot of us in the community take the word friend a little too loosely. We use it all the time. In fact, I do too. I'm guilty of it as well. And this word friend that we use is kind of a term that is really reserved for people that we have a special bond with. The ones that we talk to a lot, or, we might have a lot of interactions with. We might see them a lot. We might call them on the phone. We might text. You might interact. It's different whenever you have a physical friend, someone that you can see with your eyes and hug and touch, compared to the ones that are online that are, states away, worlds away, and you just can't, you can't see them all the time. And that's a different friendship, I think. And sometimes maybe not even can be considered a friendship. Looking at these definitions and thinking about this a lot harder, I would have to say that, just like relationships, between two people who love one another, it's very hard and very difficult to maintain a relationship from a distance. That is something that is just really challenging for, anyone to do. And I don't know, it's something that a lot of times distance is what tears people apart, because they can't have that. Like, think about when you're sad, what's better, to have someone console you, like to come and give you a hug, or, just be like, hold your hand and say, I'm here for you, or have someone across an ocean or so, let's just say, and them just trying to console you through texting or some other means, maybe just comments on your videos. Like, to me, that's borderline more of an acquaintance than a friend. A friend, is someone that you really have intimate time with, and that you share secrets with, and you trust them. And let's face it, as much as we really connect with a lot of people here, I don't know. For me, I can't really say that everyone is my friend. I would love to get to know a lot of you a lot more. Absolutely. But unfortunately, the geographically disbursement of us all kind of makes that hard. We do get to see each other sometimes at doll shows or meetups, and that's wonderful. In fact, I have felt like I've gained some folks that I would consider a friend. It's borderline though, because I still don't know the person as well as I would a person that I would interact here in my, in my area, where I would see them and, have conversations, go out, with girls' night outs, that kind of stuff. Like, it's hard to do that in a distance type situation. So, I don't know. I just wanted to bring that thought into everyone's heads, I guess, to think about who you trust and who you consider a friend in this arena, because like I said, it is hard. It's hard to call someone a friend when you can't really keep up or maintain that relationship as easy. There's always going to be people that figure out a way to, do things that are completely, unheard of. Like, I can't believe that, so-and-so lives here and so-and-so lives there, and they're still married after all these years, I know people that are like that. Not personally, but I know names of people, because I work in academia, and there are people at the dean level that they're a dean of a unit at the university where I work, and their spouse is a dean or an associate dean at another university 5 states away. And they're married, and they see each other, like, they fly and see each other on the weekends, and that's how they do it. And it's like, wow, I can't even imagine trying to hold down a, relationship in that nature. But people do it. So I'm not saying that you can't have a distance relationship and they never work, because they do. There are people that manage to do it, and I think it's not impossible, of course, but I feel like, they probably didn't get married that way. They got married by living together. It's just their careers sort of took them in different directions. And they were married for a certain, amount of time probably before they got to where they are today. And us in the community, a lot of us, we might know people that we follow their channel and they follow ours that we've known for years. And of course, like that strong bond can happen. and everything. So I'm kind of excluding some of those folks. I'm just saying, like, a lot of the newer people and some people that, you know, get into these Facebook groups and things like that, they call people their friend before they really get the chance to earn that title, is what I'm saying, I guess. So just something to chew on. I know, like I said, I know this is like a little bit of a controversial topic, and but it's interesting if you take a step back and you think about what is a friend. Like, who do you classify as friends, really? Like, there are folks in this community that we have a great time, you know, commenting back and forth on videos, and some of you make me laugh so hard with your things that you say. I love some of your comments. Like, I still, even though I connect in that way, I still consider a lot of folks acquaintances because of that reason. I don't get the opportunity to really know the real person, and to, you know, you don't get really the opportunity to know me either. I mean, I could be totally fake. I could be sitting here, you know, this could be my show face, my show hat that I wear, and I could be like a total rotten individual that's horrible, and you guys wouldn't know that because I don't portray that on, like, there's a lot of good actors in this world. Just like I was saying with interviewing, it's the same thing. Like, it's a meet-up thing that you have to try and determine a person's character in a short period of time and figure out, you know, what their work ethic's like and all of that before you try to bring this person into your life, into your family, your team of colleagues and coworkers, and hope that you made a right choice. This is the same thing to me. Exact same thing, actually. Except we have a little bit more interactions than, of course, that one-time interview. But it is the same thing. And I think over time, of course, things can switch and make a, you know, change. But for the most part, you don't know who's sitting across the table from you. You don't know who's sitting on the other side of this screen that I'm talking through right now. You know. So, something to think about, I guess, before you go and use the term friend. Because, you know, there are a lot of fakers out here. Not just in the adult community, in the world. I see them every day. I interview people a lot. We interview part-time people. I'm going to be interviewing full-time people in a little while. Hopefully sooner than later, but I have a feeling it's going to be later. Because there's some other folks that have left the libraries, and they're probably going to fill those positions sooner than mine. Because mine's sort of a lower on the totem pole as far as importance, I guess. There's managers that have left and associate deans that have left and are leaving. So, yeah. Me having a staff member, and I already have another staff member and part-time folks, they're going to look at that as like, yeah, we're going to make you wait a little while. I'm fully prepared for that. I've been doing a lot of prep work and talking to other units to see if they can help us out while we're short-staffed, because I said I have a feeling it's going to be a while. So, but going back to the friend acquaintance, like I said, think about it. Feel free to comment below if you have a complete different opinion. I'm open to discussion. I like talking about stuff, and it's more fun when you can talk like face to face, but we can't do that here. So, you know, I'd like to just have you take a moment to just kind of review and assess the folks that are in your lives, especially on social media type platforms, and, you know, just be careful, because you don't really know who's in your court, really, on this platform. People do an awful lot of making you feel warm and fuzzy, and they're after something. Maybe they're after one of your dolls that you have, and so they'll start befriending you just for that purpose. Or they want to try and build their channel up, and you have a higher channel, you got a lot of subscribers, so they'll befriend you or try to befriend you for that reason. You just don't know what people's ulterior motives are, and so you know, and I'm not saying that all people are mean or are bad in this world, because that's absolutely not true either. I'm just trying to, I guess, open people's eyes to the possibilities, because you want to watch out for it, and you know, be smart, you know, be careful about who you call your friend. My dad has a lot of people, like my dad is pretty well known in our area, because he did construction all his life, so he met and got to know a lot of people. And my dad has this like interesting view about friends. And unfortunately, because I grew up in this area, or I grew up around him, I kind of have that too. And I try to break myself of it, because it doesn't really apply, I don't think, in this world, in the social media world. But he feels strongly that a friendship is a two-way street. So, not saying you have to tag each other, like I called you this time so you could call me next time. Not in that sense. But my dad will get really upset when it turns into a one-way street, where he's doing all the contacting and he's, you know, reaching out to people to try and get together with them or whatever, just to talk, to chat. He gets really upset about that. And I find that I do that too. I do. And I hate when I do that. I really do. I hate when I do that. Because people do, like, in the social media world especially, we all have separate lives outside this camera. So we can't all be constantly juggling our lives, our careers, and our social media all the time. So there are going to be times where someone isn't going to contact you, or someone, and I'm talking about friends now, in my case. There are going to be times where you don't hear from somebody, but you should eventually. You know what I mean? I think if conversation stops altogether, I guess rather than get upset about it, like I tend to do, because thank you, Dad, I try to reach out to that person and say, hey, I haven't heard from you for a while. How are you doing? Do you want to talk sometime? You know, we could schedule a time to call each other. Heck, can you talk now? I'll call you now. You know, that kind of thing. Just try to reconnect with people, because, you know, we're out of sight, out of mind here. Like, we don't see each other on a regular basis, so it's very easy to get caught up in other things we're doing. I'm not saying we're too busy for people, because that's kind of bad too, I guess. You know, you should make time for the people that you care about. But when you don't see them and you don't hear from them, it's easy to kind of let them go a little bit and sort of not forget they exist, but kind of. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I think that it's really easy to do in this type of connection, because I got a red list on my face there. It's like, hello. So that's something to think about too. Like, if you're like me and you have those tendencies to get upset if someone doesn't talk to you for a while or something like that, you know, ooh, I'm sorry, my hand was over that. So, you know, think about that too. Like, I don't know. I posted on Facebook like a while back. I'm gonna put you guys down a second. Now I look like a giant. I posted a while back on Facebook, I think it was, that, here, maybe I can put you up here. My arm's getting tired. On Facebook, I think it was, that I caught myself being a girl. And I meant that. I do not like having those girl tendencies where I get jealous about somebody talking to somebody else and I haven't heard from them for a while. Or, I don't know, what else do us gals do? You know, maybe we think like, oh, gosh, our friend always gets these gorgeous dolls and I can never get them because I don't have the money or whatever. I think it's mainly jealousy, honestly. I think that's what it is. And I catch myself doing that stuff from time to time. I try very hard. I work very hard to try and not be a girl. I try to be more like a guy, honestly. Because I think guys just aren't petty and they're not, I don't know, they don't judge. They're just, you know, they're just easier going folks, I think. And I work on it every day, basically. I try to be more like a guy. I know that sounds really weird. I'm not, you know, interested in having a sex change or anything crazy like that. You know, I'm not saying that's crazy because, you know, whatever you do. But I just mentally, I try to get myself into a guy's head because I feel like they're better at relationships. Like, if you talk to a guy, if you watch guys talk and they talk to each other and, say one guy says something and then the other one completely like ignores him and doesn't say anything, the guy that got ignored doesn't get all upset and like pissy about it. They just like, oh, he must not have heard me, or in fact, I don't even think they analyze it at all. They just move on. So I try to be that person as much as I can, and I catch myself being a girl a lot. So I know this is really getting to be a long video, but just wanted to bring some of these things to light. We don't talk about that, I don't think. We don't talk about how females respond and react to things, and we certainly don't talk about, you know, the differences between friends and acquaintances. At least in my little corner of YouTube, I don't see that being discussed. I see it being discussed in a way of like, you know, to try and watch out for, you know, the fake friends and stuff like that, which this is a part of it, but it's also a part of all the good people that are in here too, that, you know, just don't use that term so loosely. You know, think about it a little bit before you call someone a friend, because, you know, they just might not be that. They might be an acquaintance. Absolutely. So that's what I'll leave you with. Think about that, and think about how we act and how we respond too, because sometimes we are just, I don't know, wearing our emotions on our sleeves. And if we think a little bit about it, like, you know, maybe this person's just having a bad day, and that's why they didn't respond to you right away, or something like that. Like, just try to be calm, I guess. I know it's hard for a lot of us. It's really hard. Like I said, I struggle with it every day. I am constantly reminding myself, don't overreact. Don't jump to conclusions. Just breathe and talk to the person and say, hey, what's going on? Are you alright? You know? Something I can do? Did I do something to upset you? Like, you know, just have conversations instead of speculating, because that's the worst thing we can do, I feel like, is speculate. So, I know I'm all over the place with this, but anyway, thank you all for watching. Thank you all to my subscribers. I appreciate all of you very much, and I look forward to seeing you again in the next video. I'll be bringing a baby again in the next video. If you have any requests for ones you want to see, put them in the description or the comments, and I'll see what I can do. Alright, everyone, take care, and you know, be safe and be smart, and have a good one. Bye bye.